Welcome aboard, everybody. It's Captain D. Today we are at Dover Air Force Base in the Premier jet, and we are going to fly to Sault Ste. Marie in British Columbia. Aircraft code Charlie Yankee Alpha Mike. It's a 595-mile flight. Should take us about 2 hours. We are on VATSIM. Unfortunately, Washington Center signed off before I got everything set up. So maybe they'll come back, maybe they won't. But we'll enjoy the flight either way. Well, let's go ahead and get rid of the static elements here. And we'll go ahead and plug in the GPU. Alright, and then we got to load our departure here. We're going to do the Canny 1 departure. And according to SimBrief here, our runway is going to be runway 32 Canny 1 departure to the Jers transition. Load departure. And then we'll take a look at the rest of the flight plan here. We don't have an arrival. And I'm not sure which runway we're going to take. In 2 hours, the winds could change, so we'll look at that down the road. Alright, let's go ahead and start some engines here. Alright, Canny 1 RNAV departure. Climb on heading 350 to 3000. Expect radar vectors to Canny. Hence via devicted route to Turpez, and then via assigned transition, maintain ATC altitude. Expect further clearance to be filed altitude within 10 minutes of departure. And we are flying to 38,000 feet today. So without ATC, we're just going to simulate when they would allow us to climb higher. So right now we'll set our altitude for 3,000. And we'll get an ATIS here. Okay, no ATIS coming in, so we'll check active sky. .280 at 6. On the winds, 10 statute miles, no precipitation, 3003 for the altimeter. Alright, so we're going to taxi via Bravo, and then we're going to have to cross 24. Dover traffic, Premier 390 Delta Alpha, taxiing to runway 32 via Bravo, Dover. Dover traffic, Premier Jet 390 Delta Alpha, on the roll, runway 32, northbound departure, IFR Canny 1 departure, Dover. Release the brakes. $80 knots. V1 rotate. Positive rate, gear coming up, flaps coming up so we don't overspeed them. Yaw damper is on. Dover traffic, Premier 390 Delta Alpha, off runway 32, IFR departure, Kenny 1, Dover. Thousand feet to go. Alright, looks like tops are around 6,500. Didn't take long to get through that. We've got our climb set at 190 knots. Coming up on 8,000. There's 8,000. Pressurization's good, engine instruments are good, fuel flow is good, electricals are good, no ice protection required, fuel pumps on auto. And we're above 10,000 feet. I'll go ahead and shut off the landing lights. We're about 3 miles from Canny now, and then we'll make a right turn. And it looks like we may pick up some weather around Durlow there, but I think we'll be above it, so shouldn't be much of a factor. Alright, we got some ATC. Contact me on 133.72. And that is Washington Center. Washington Center, Premier 390 Delta Alpha.
We have the traffic 1 Delta Charlie.
Over 1 Delta Charlie, thank you. No factor now.
Southwest 423, my okay to cross runway 22.
Southwest 4263. That runway doesn't exist anymore, but yeah, go ahead, cross runway 22. Contact Potomac approach for your taxi 119.7.
11957,
Good day.
Washington Center, Premier 390 Delta Alpha, 23,500 for flight level 380. We have an IFR in the system for Sault Ste. Marie.
November 390 Delta Alpha, Washington Center, squawk 3721.
3721, 390 Delta Alpha.
This is United 2618, requesting clearance to go to Houston.
United 2216, contact Philly ground 121.9er.
121.9, thank you.
November 0 Delta Alpha, radar contact 23 miles east of Baltimore. Welcome, climb and maintain flight level 380.
Climb and maintain 380, 390 Delta Alpha. Alright, easy enough.
Southwest 3905 back in flight deck.
Getting our flight plan, they give us a different clearance, so.
November 1 Delta Charlie, plan the ILS runway 1 approach, the Washington altimeter 3006.
ILS runway 1 Delta Charlie.
It's been a while since I've been on VATSIM, so their procedures are a little different than Pilot Edge. But it's nice to get ATC outside of the Pilot Edge coverage area because unfortunately they don't cover a whole lot of the country, and so you gotta kind of pick and choose, and we got lucky this time with some VATSIM coverage, so we get some ATC in the video. Alright, as the air gets thinner, we lose our descent rate. We're down to about 1,000 feet a minute, and we are at about 27,000.
3708 on the ground at Raleigh, requesting IFR clearance to Newark.
Lindbergh 3708, Washington Center, hello, clearance on request. Lindbergh 3708, clearance available.
Go ahead, sir.
Lindbergh 3708, cleared to Newark Airport, Oxford for departure, Carmel that has filed, maintain 6,000, expect flight level 29010 minutes after departure, squawk 3505.
Washington Center, good afternoon. American 2144.
Alright, we're still climbing. We're at 360. We got 2,000 feet to climb. We're really struggling to get up there to 380. We're just over Frederick, Maryland.
November 611 Delta Charlie, turn right, heading 290.
Right to
We are 14 nautical miles from our transition point off
JetBlue
of
2080,
the
descend and
departure.
maintain 3000.
Center maintaining 3000, JetBlue 2080.
Getting a good ground speed though, 336 knots. True airspeed of 322, and we're fighting a 45 knot crosswind from the left side here.
November 390 Delta Alpha, Cleveland Center is not online. Radar service terminated. Frequency change approved.
Frequency change approved for 390 Delta Alpha. Good day, thanks for the service.
Goodbye.
We'll keep our squawk code just in case. Maybe we'll get lucky and get some more ATC. Who knows? I'm looking at the map now. Doesn't look like anything's online right now, but I'll stay signed in and we'll see what happens. Alright, so that tone you heard was our 1,000-foot warning to flight level 380, which is on the top end of the ceiling for this airplane. Tops out at 410, but with full passengers and full fuel, it would take you a very long time to get there. Alright, according to our fuel calculations here, we have 381 gallons on board. We're burning 137.4 gallons an hour, ground speed of 359 knots. Fuel required to get to our destination is 187.5 gallons. Fuel at our destination will be 193.3. Gives us an hour and 24-minute reserve. And we have a range of 1,000 miles or pretty uneventful cruise. We did pass over top of some weather, but nothing that really affected us. We're gonna go ahead and set up the approach. Alright, so from OTNAV, or Ottman, then it's a 025 degree turn to SVID. And at SVID you turn 295 degrees for your final approach into runway 30. Elevation 632 feet. And the missed approach is climb to 3100, track 295 to Kedgi. At SVID we want to be 2000, and then at FRAMP we want to be down to 1900. And our minimums today are 864 feet. Passing through 10,000, I'll go ahead and turn on the landing lights and the fasten seatbelt signs. And we're going to shallow our descent quite a bit here. Alright, so while we're descending our last 1,000 feet or so, we're going to take a look at the active sky ATIS for our destination. 260 at 6 knots, 15 statute miles, scattered 13,000, scattered 20,000. Temperature 24, dew point 14, no precipitation reported, and altimeter of 3017. So looks like SimBrief was spot on picking the runway. It's 1,000 feet to go on our descent. Once we get to Ottman, we're going to make our turn to 026 degrees. I'm going to go ahead and set the heading bug. 2026. And then by the time we get to SVID here, we want to be at 2,000. And then at Romeo, it's 1900 for the final approach. Alright, there's the 200-foot warning. And we're making our turn. set down to continue to 1900, and vertical speed required is going to be quite a bit, I think. Yeah, 1200. Power, so we don't get going too fast, and we need to start slowing down and configuring for landing. Gear speed on the Premier is 220 knots according to the manual, but I usually don't throw it out until about 190 knots. And we're going to arm the approach. Gears coming down. Throw a lot of drag out there. Got to slow down here. Alright, we're at about 11 miles. We'll go ahead and throw the approach flaps. And we're waiting on the glide path vector to come in. And we'll go to 122.8. Sault Ste. Marie traffic, Premier 390 Delta Alpha is on the RNAV for runway 30, 10 miles out, Sault Ste. Marie. I've got the airport up ahead. We're a little low according to the PAPI, so we're just going to hold level here. I'll go ahead and throw in the rest of the flaps. Lift up. Here come with the glide slope. We've captured the glide slope. We'll pull power here so we don't get going too fast. Sault Ste. Marie traffic, Premier Jet 390 Delta Alpha, short final, runway 30, Sault Ste. Marie. Autopilot's coming off. Floating a little bit here. Sault Ste. Marie traffic. Premier 390 Delta Alpha is exiting runway 30, going to parking. Well, I hope everyone has enjoyed that flight as much as I did. If you did, please remember to like and subscribe, and feel free to leave a comment below. I try to get back to everybody that comments, and thank you very much for taking the time to watch my video. Hope everyone has a wonderful day. See you next time.